Good Friday evening, everybody. It's Friday, November 19th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg. So, this big weekend, it's hunting season. It's open season for gun season for you deer hunters out there. Good luck. For those of you who aren't hunting this weekend and you're hunting for a bargain, kind of the big kickoff, right? I mean, the shopping season's been pretty good. I was talking to Andrew. He's got to get his shopping on. Like, this might be his weekend.
We've started a little, but definitely need to turn it up.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you're gonna hit it. You're
Probably.
gonna go. It's gonna be green light.
Oh yeah, green means go, baby.
I was saying that I've got all my stuff's like arriving today. I didn't want to take any chances, so.
Hey, that's smart.
And I spread the wealth this year instead of just going through one. I went through different vendors this year. Tried different. Tried to expand. So what I'm saving now for is Super Saturday, which is Small Business Saturday. But I say Super Saturday because that's like, that's big. To try to pick up some local stuff. So
Definitely.
that's kind of the last piece. And that's where I pick up my stocking stuffers. Don't tell my kids or my wife that.
Okay.
That's the secret. That's the secret to success, Andrew.
Like it.
Mm-hmm. So, it's a busy weekend for Wisconsin. Be safe this weekend. We'll talk about some of that stuff in the headlines coming up. It's a great show as well. Since we're getting into the holiday, and you're like, well, why the heck did you just talk about holiday shopping and everything else? Well, we're going to be having the Fitchburg Police Department on today. Yeah, we're going to get an update from Ned. He's here, and he'll help us not only give you an update on the police department, but also get you ready for the holidays, keeping you safe. So we'll go through that today on the show coming up. Let's get you some headlines as you work through this Friday evening. Brush and yard waste collection. Earlier this week, we heard from Pelletier that they're experiencing some issues with their labor and truck maintenance. So Pelletier is going to be expanding their brush collection into next week, November 22nd. And that includes your brush and yard waste collection. So that's limbs less than 5 feet long and less than 6 inch in diameters. Make sure you have that at the curb by 5:30, by 6:30. I don't know where I kept 5:30. 6:30 in the morning on Monday. 608-257-4285 is the number if you got any questions to call Pelletier. All right, applications for the position of paid on-call firefighter is going to be coming out. Heads up, it says starting November 29th, the city of Fitchburg will start accepting those applications for a position of paid on-call firefighter. If you're interested, just email the fire department at fire@fitchburgwi.gov. And your name could be here. I love that photo. Standing out is the best thing you could do during the deer hunting season. It is deer hunting season. We want to make sure you stay safe. If you are heading out this weekend and you're not a hunter, but you're going to be heading to maybe one of the county parks or state parks, or maybe you have private property with woods, stand out. Wear something that's orange or something that will make you more visible. We want to make sure that you stay safe out there. While hunting is allowed in specific areas of some state park properties throughout the year, designated use areas like trails, campgrounds, and picnic areas are not open to hunting. Some hikers may also choose to recreate outside the hunting hours for added peace of mind, which would be really difficult because, hunting sun up to sundown. So at least for the 9-day gun season coming up here, please be safe if you're heading out and doing hiking or into the woods. Please, please, please. All right, COVID-19 update in Dane County. We're seeing numbers increase across Wisconsin, and that is including here in Dane County. Cases increased during the 14-day period with an average of 137.5 cases per day. On an average, 68 out of 137.5 cases each day were among people who were not vaccinated. The number of people hospitalized with COVID in Dane County hospitals was stable, with an average of 77 people hospitalized in with COVID-19 in Dane County hospitals each day. Whether these hospitalizations are among Dane County residents or among patients that were transferred to Dane County hospitals from surrounding areas, percent positive was 4.1%. An average of 3,038 tests were conducted per day. Percent of positivity has been increasing in recent weeks as well. However, as it remains under 5%, this is a good indication that we're testing at the level we need to in order to find cases. So please, 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 please be safe out there and continue to do all the best practices to prevent COVID-19. If you haven't been vaccinated, still time to get vaccinated, or if you're working your way through it, make sure you sign up for that second dose. And now to complete your first series, or if you're working on getting the booster, pay attention on that. All right, don't let the flu stop your holiday season either. Got some tips here on that as well. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services continues to encourage Wisconsinites to get their flu vaccine to help stay healthy while visiting family and friends this holiday season. Flu vaccine is the best tool to protect yourself and your loved ones from becoming ill with the flu. Getting your flu vaccine at least 2 weeks before gathering gives your body time to build up immunity it needs to fight the infection. So definitely get that if you can. And recommendations are people ages 6 months or older for the vaccine. Flu vaccination is especially important for people who are younger than 5 years old or over the age of 65, pregnant, or have chronic health conditions. Finally, here, just want to remind you, too, that this week was U.S. Antibiotic Awareness Week, and I just love this graphic. And it's showing you the differences between viruses, bacteria, and virus and bacteria. But antibiotics don't cover everything, and that's the key here. And if you haven't got educated from COVID-19, you've learned that, like things like the flu, those are viruses, and antibiotics don't work. Same with COVID-19, strep throat, and runny nose. Those are all viruses that don't work with antibiotics. So if you're kind of curious, like, well, why can we use antibiotics to treat some of this stuff? Because it's a virus. And that's my wrap-up. That's as much as I can tell you on that healthcare front. And you can find all of these links to the stories. Andrew will post them up together. So if you can go back and review that one and check out more, learn more about being healthy. Take a quick break. Coming up next, we're talking about the Fitchburg Police Department on a Fitchburg Police Update here on TF.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? I'm high. Oh.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from the Fitchburg Police Department, Edward, Ned. Welcome back to the show. I'm not saying anything else because all you do is pick on me if I say your ranking, so I'm not doing it.
All right. Thank you for having me, Jeremy.
I'm glad you're back here. We've been going back and forth a little while here, not badly, just you just hold me to a high standard, as you should. But we're here to get an update on what's been happening at the police department. It's a little bit colder out now, and with cold and winter and fall comes alternate side parking, your favorite time of year, Ned. And the first question is, and we'll go through what it is, but why do we do alternate side parking?
So alternate side parking is something that is done to make sure that our public works crews have the ability to clear snow and maintain access for emergency vehicles. Fortunately, we don't end up with a ton of snow early in the season more often than not. But as the snowfall continues throughout the snow season, those snow piles pile up, and it gets harder and harder to get vehicles, buses, emergency equipment down the streets. So I don't know if you've ever seen the magic that our public works streets crews do to clear our roads, but getting cars off certain sides of the streets allows them to clear those up.
And so this is November 15th through March 15th, and it's even days, 1 to 7 a.m. So you got to keep that in mind that this is happening the next day. So you got to think of the next day. So on even days, you park on the even side. On the odd days, you park on the odd side. Again, starting from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m. So very crucial you understand that. Are you guys out there? So I think the next question is ticket writing wise or fines or however you say that. Are we out there to help you
Remember?
remember, or
Yeah.
are we out there to?
No, we're out there. We're trying to encourage people right now with warnings and some flyers out there for the first couple of weeks here. Is our goal is to educate and remind people. Last year, we slowed down our enforcement just because of everything that was going on, and our routines and habits were a little abnormal last year, to say the least. And so right now, we're focusing on the education piece of it. But as we get further into the snowfall year, we'll be issuing citations for vehicles in violation. The critical piece to remember here is what day it will be more often than not. When you're going, before you go to bed, you got to think about the next day there. And the other consideration, too, is that double whammy of 2 odd days in a row you have to think about, too. So it's not just move it every night.
Yeah. Definitely. I appreciate you breaking that down. I think that's always the question of the year when this comes up. So we don't want any surprises. That's the big thing. A good thing that the police department does every single year is a food drive, and it is expanded a little bit this year. But time is running out to donate. Tell us about the food drive.
So the food drive has been put on for a number of years now by personnel from our records department, and it goes to support the Allied Food Pantry, which is located in the Boys and Girls Club just off of Allied Drive. So it's a neighborhood that, the Allied Drive neighborhood's in the city of Madison, the most of that Belmar neighborhood's in the city of Fitchburg, and that food pantry relies very heavily on the donations that our food drive brings in. And we have traditionally challenged other city departments in this, and we're fortunate to partner with the Eagle School. They're always a huge supporter and contribute quite a bit. And then also the Edward Jones offices in the city. And we are really trying to fill those shelves. Now more than ever, people are in need. And so if people have items, we'll actually have some information up on our social media platforms. You can drop those off at the police department, and we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, we have a canister right up front here at City Hall if you come in. So please help us out. That ends on the 5th. So your time is running out, but always time to donate to Allied Food Pantry. So if you can't get in the bins, so to say, bring it over to Boys and Girls Club, and they'll be happy to help. Yeah, you guys do a great job. Public Works usually wins that one, don't they?
Yeah, we don't want to bring that up. But yeah, Public Works, those guys always come through and usually take home the trophy. So there is a traveling trophy within the city, and we're hoping to maybe make a change to who takes that home at the end of this year's.
Yeah, it's amazing, and they've done a great job. And seeing the drop-off day is just amazing. So great job on that front. Let's turn to some crime prevention and talking specifically on property crime. Seen some theft at construction sites recently.
Yeah, so we try to keep a pretty close tab on trends that are occurring not only in Fitchburg and the surrounding areas, and we've really seen the property crime issues, specifically the stolen autos and the thefts from unlocked vehicles. They occur any time of year. We do see an uptick this time of year with the vehicle thefts when people are warming up their cars. However, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen an interesting trend where vehicles that are parked at work sites or construction sites are being targeted, and in a couple instances, cars have been stolen. And it's understandable in the sense that workers may be going back and forth with their vehicles, may not want to have their car keys with them, but we're trying to encourage everyone to spread the word, especially if you have contractors or workers at your home. Just remind them, hey, I hate to tell you to do this, but please make sure your equipment's locked up, your vehicle's locked up, and the last thing we want to do is have thousands of dollars worth of equipment in your vehicle and all these other things stolen or missing.
Yeah, and it said it's just the best trying to prevent it from happening, so you don't have to go through all the trial. And again, it shouldn't be this way necessarily, but glad you're sharing the information. Transitioning, we're just rolling right through these today, Ned. And one that so excited about is the award ceremony. It was great because we just got the new police chief in, but really highlighting the hard work in it. I mean, you've been been in this transition period waiting to get the chief, and still amazing work has happened, and what a night to celebrate.
Yeah, so last week we were fortunate to be able to pull this off. We traditionally have an awards and recognition ceremony in May of each year during Police Week. Due to COVID and a number of other factors, we had put that off, and it happened to work out timing as far as having a new chief in, and then also this being the 50th anniversary of the police department. And so it was a nice way for us to recognize new police department personnel. We have several new officers that have started over the last couple of years. And then also the amazing work that really every segment of our department has been doing. We've had a lot of challenging situations, a lot of interesting cases that have just taken a lot of work, new projects, and so it was great to recognize all of that work and to bring everybody together for that. So we love to see the turnout and support and recognize our team members.
Yeah, it's cool. The family gets to come in and they know what's happening, or maybe not know what's happening day to day, and great to recognize you folks what you're doing out there, which is, again, it's been busy, it's been a lot, and police is always changing, and I think that's a part of it. So if you want to watch, we did a little highlight piece on that. You can check that out online. Certainly, I'd encourage you to do so you get to learn a little bit about what's been happening here at the police department. Finally, we are wrapping up into the holiday season. We're going to be talking about holiday safety on another segment, but you got Burby Derby coming up in general, so there'll be some traffic impacts, but your thoughts quickly on Thanksgiving season and shopping.
Yeah, Thanksgiving kicks off the holiday season here, and that brings a number of things. We have holiday traffic, distracted driving increases. We have a busy bar time that ends up coming up right before Thanksgiving, so we need to have people be mindful of their habits and what they're doing when they're on the road. And then also we're really kicking off the holiday shopping season, and I think really people paying attention to everything they're doing, whether they're driving or they're out and about shopping, making sure that they're locking their cars, the simple steps of hiding property if you have goods that you just purchased at a store, keeping those out of sight, and just maintaining awareness of your surroundings is really, whether you're in a car, on foot, in a store. And the biggest thing, too, is always letting us know when something's amiss. If you see something, if it's a reckless driver or something that seems suspicious while you're out and about, just let us know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will be back out this year in the stores because we're, some way better for COVID, but still dealing with it. All right, Ned, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And we'll say happy Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful you were able to join me today.
I'm grateful for the opportunity, Jeremy. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joined today from the Fitchburg Police Department, my friend, Ned. I'm not saying anything else as usual. That's going to be our thing from here on out. I will never say your last name. Not that I really do say a lot of last names because they can be difficult, but also your ranking. You're truly my favorite. So
I'm just here to serve, Jeremy, in whatever capacity I can. So.
Well, today you're going to serve us with some holiday safety tips. Tis the season, as they say, and we kind of talked about it during our monthly updates. But the holiday season is upon us. Probably going to be more people out. Probably already been out because we think there might be shortages on whatever. But really, time to practice good holiday safety. So kind of pick up where you left off last time as you're heading out this shopping season, if you will. What would you recommend as basic safety tips?
So I think the biggest thing is as you mentioned here, we're kind of getting back into the habit of going back into stores and shopping, going out celebrating with friends maybe. I think the biggest thing as we return to those routines is we should be returning to a routine of being aware. Being aware of what's going on around us, whether we're shopping, whether we're walking out and about in a parking lot, whatever the situation may be, just maintain an extra degree of awareness in your surroundings and what it is that you're doing. Often people are caught up, they're rushing, trying Black Friday, trying to get to all the stores, and they may forget to lock a car or to hide valuables. And just really think about your routines and reducing your risk as you're out there enjoying or not enjoying this busy time of year as you're getting ready for the holidays.
Yeah, it can be a stressful time of year, certainly. Picking up on and celebrating. So, as you mentioned, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, popular time for people to head out and have a good time because they don't have to work the next day. But even through the holiday season, finding that designated driver and really thinking twice before heading out on the road is so important during this time of year. And any part of the year, really.
Any time of year, however, I think, again, during this time of the year, folks tend to get a little distracted, excited, or maybe not excited, whatever your perspective may be about having to attend that holiday function. But there really is no excuse with the availability of Ubers and other rideshare services. The cab companies, it might be busy, it might be a long wait, but it's certainly much better waiting a little bit longer than getting behind the wheel when you've had too much to drink. And we just don't want to see people's holiday seasons ruined by a bad choice. And get themselves in a situation. It's dangerous enough to drive these days with distracted driving and people not thinking of others. But we just ask that people think twice before getting behind the wheel after having too many drinks.
Yeah, and I always think too. I mean, I'm glad the departments are out there protecting us, but you're really trying to get that person off the road so they don't hurt somebody else, including themselves. So yeah, definitely take the time and plan ahead when you're heading out, just like you would do for anything else. You got to plan ahead. Switching to some other holiday safety stuff, we're definitely back into the shopping world, your favorite, and I'm sure you've ordered all of your presents, including mine, and it will be delivered to your home. But package theft or porch pirates, what would you have for safety tips on that front?
So from the crime prevention perspective with your online shopping, a couple of things. Really think about the timing of these things and realizing that when you might have a stack of Amazon deliveries or other packages showing up, having a plan for those things so that they're not sitting on your porch and tracking those packages and deliveries. There may be some delays, so it's important to keep up on when those things are coming. There are a number of different things out there that people can utilize. The informed delivery through the Postal Service and other services are great to track those. And then once they get there, camera systems are great just to keep an eye to know when those actually get there, and then have someone come and get them, bring them in the house. The other, I think, trend that has increased are some manufactured or improvised devices that you can have a package delivery box. Most all the delivery services are really good about following delivery instructions as far as putting those packages in those boxes, and those are commercially available, or you can improvise your own, especially this time of year. I think sometimes people may forget to leave a porch light on during the day as it gets darker, and then they get home at 5 o'clock and now it's already dark. So leave that porch light on, and I think people may be less likely to come on your porch and take one of those packages.
Yeah, good information. And again, another plan might be the theme today is plan ahead here. Finally, people head out for the holiday season, traveling. Maybe there'll be more traveling this year. You guys do offer that vacation watch overall, but thinking two parts of this. Tell us a little bit about the vacation watch, but if you are heading out, what are some things you should do in, again, preventing that property crime or any crime from happening at the home?
Sure. So another place to prepare before you travel, you can go on our website, or you can call our non-emergency dispatch number, and you can let us know that you're going to be out of town. We unfortunately don't offer the trash service or the paper mail collection or the plant watering. But if you register with us, we will be able to keep an eye on your residence. Sometimes it might just be driving by to make sure that everything looks fine. Other times when we have a little bit more time on patrol, we might be able to get out and walk around and check in that it's secure. But really, one of the biggest benefits that comes into play there is if something does happen, we usually have a way to get a hold of you that much faster. So it's just another way to let somebody else know. Most people are pretty good about getting a neighbor involved or a family member to come check on the home, but it doesn't hurt to let us know as well. As you're preparing your home and your environment, though, that you're going to be leaving, hopefully going someplace warmer, a couple of things to consider are making sure you're doing an audit. I like to use the term audit, that you're going through and you're purposely looking and making sure that opportunities, windows, doors, those things are all locked. And there's a ton of smart home automation or even just very simple things that can light switches and timers, motion detectors, all those types of things are all great things to consider. Do what's right for your environment and your neighborhood. And then finally, too, I think like with the vacation watch is just communicating with your neighbors and saying, hey, I'm going to be out of town. This is how you can get a hold of me if something's amiss, if the garage door is left open, or whatever the case may be. Someone else can get in touch with you and let you know what the situation is.
All right, finally, Ned, it's COVID has been tough. The holidays can be tough. I lost my father earlier this year. It's going to be a tough holiday because there's different stories for everybody. For just mental health and services being out there, I think that's become a big part of the police department. And you guys, the men and women of our department, are talking with folks, and checking in with them. But as the holiday season does go forward, what would you offer in hooking people up and making sure you're checking on those loved ones and having discussions?
Yeah, it's a great consideration any holiday season. Everyone experiences this time of year a little bit differently. And still coming out of COVID or being in the middle of this pandemic, for some people's perspectives, I think that adds a whole nother layer of challenges for people and the experiences that they're having. And our community is no different than the rest of the country. And certainly we are often at the forefront of people who are in need. We have a very well-trained core of our officers that are very familiar with experiencing or dealing with folks who are experiencing a mental health crisis. And I think the bigger message, though, is that we are all responsible to each other and looking out for each other in this community. And I think that's one of the things that makes Fitchburg so great, is that we do get a lot of calls from neighbors saying, something doesn't seem right. Can you come check my neighbor out or talk with them? And so we're always happy to help in those situations and connect people to the right resources. So please, whether you're looking out for your neighbor for property crime prevention, also keep in mind that while you might be having a joyous time of year, you might have a neighbor or a friend or someone that's experiencing this time of year differently. And don't be afraid to make that phone call. And I can assure you that we can get that person pointed in the right direction to get them the assistance that they need.
Yeah, I think we haven't talked about it a lot. We've talked about mental health, but definitely kind of comes up at this time of year, and I'm glad you're able to share that with us. Well, either way, happy holidays to you, Ned, and the department. Appreciate what you guys are doing down there each and every day, and looking forward to having you and other people coming up here next year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jerry. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, too. He couldn't even say happy holidays, Jeremy. All right, give him a lot of feedback, we'll call it. Have a good holiday, stay safe, and check the police department website and social media. You can get the latest information from them, including safety tips and more. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. We'll see you back here next week.